As you can imagine, for someone trying to post a tech-related video every single day except for Sundays, it can be kind of hard to find something to talk about every single day, day after day. And one of the things that I have done that kind of helps me from time to time is I made this list on Reddit, which is basically like a bunch of different phone subreddits all combined. And I will open this up if I'm feeling like maybe I can't think of something to talk about, and I'll scroll and I'll see what's being talked about. Usually it's people asking for help with problems, their phone broke, or whatever it may be. But occasionally there is something interesting that pops up. And today we're talking about one such very interesting post. And we're going specifically to the Surface Duo subreddit to see the post in question. Title is, this is a bit of a strange question, but does anyone know which screens the Duo Zero version uses? And that is a very clever thing to call this. And as you can see, we have a Surface Duo-like device, but the more you look at it, the more things just look a little bit strange. I do want to say quickly, thanks to the Reddit user for actually posting this. LOL, I under me. I think that's how you would probably be reading that. So thanks for posting it. Very, very, very cool. As you can see on this device's battery, prototype, not for sale. And of course, this thing actually was for sale. We'll explain here in a second why or how that is happening. But this is obviously a Surface Duo-ish device, but there are some pretty big differences. The hinges look a little bit different. The internals in general, things are just a little bit different here and there. But if we go to the next image, you can see for sure this is not a traditional, normal Surface Duo. This thing has a fabric textured back, and there is not one but two cameras on the back with an LED flash back there as well. Now, when I saw this, I immediately thought, this could be something very, very cool, something that's older than Surface Duo. So I took this link and I sent it to someone that I know who is or was a developer for Surface Duo. They worked for Microsoft on Surface Duo, and they immediately said, this is Andromeda. This is the thing that came before Surface Duo was what we got, this device running on Android. Before that, Microsoft had been developing this idea for a very long time, and it ran. Andromeda OS had its own operating system that got canceled. This is, as they kind of put in the title here, Surface Duo Zero, or I think I actually dropped a comment down here and I called it Duo -1. Either way, you kind of get the general idea. This is pre-Duo Duo. So by the time I had seen this, Zach from Windows Central had also seen it, was asking questions, and of course I had to drop in there as well and say, hey, maybe you send me the link to this as well? And they were nice enough to indeed send me that link. And so what we're going to do here in this video is we're actually going to take a look at the website where this user, this Reddit user, found this Andromeda. Because, wow, are there a lot of crazy things being sold on this website. So they said they thought this was the person that they actually purchased that one from. And straight away, look at these images. These are all manner of Surface Duo prototypes and things like that. Look at this one here and this one here. By the way, love these colors. But you see how there's a hole on the sides of them, and that is because on the other side there is a camera with a proper little camera bump, and when it folds over 360, that camera slots into that hole. If you remember way back, MKBHD actually interviewed Panos Panay, and that version of Duo was briefly seen in that video. Here's the video I was just talking about, 3.2 million views 5 years ago. Look at this device, it's in Panos Panay's hands. He puts it down in tent mode and he picks it up. There's that little hole on the back because there is a camera back there as well. So this is that exact prototype here for sale. But there are some other images you can see. That's Surface Neo with the back kind of busted off of it. There's probably a Duo 2 with a crack on it. That looks like Duo 2 as well. And then just a whole box of Duos in various states of disrepair. So you're probably wondering, how is this happening? What is going on here? Well, apparently, when a company like Microsoft has a whole bunch of pieces of hardware like this that they need disposed of, they don't always do that themselves. They usually don't. They actually send it off to another company who then is supposed to dispose of these. And someone is smuggling them out and selling them on this website called goofish.com, GOOFISH.com. And like I said, there's a lot of crazy stuff being sold on here. So let's just scroll down and see what else is popping up down here at the bottom. Immediately, my eye is drawn to this. Microsoft's abolition. This is being translated from Chinese, so that is probably not what they meant to say. But guys, that's the light version of Surface Duo that was in development that was never released. Surface Duo 2 Lite. You can see it has 2 cameras. This is a completed-ish device. Look at the side here. Side-mounted fingerprint scanner. There's your volume rocker as well. USB-C, the SIM tray is on the bottom. I saw this one earlier actually today. It's what made me decide to want to make this video because there's enough to dig into. I saw this and I thought, yeah, but it's probably like busted up. There's probably no screen on the inside or something like that. They're always kind of like messed up. But this one appears to actually be functional. Someone is selling a functional Surface Duo 2 Lite on this website for this price. I don't know what that would translate to in dollars. Now, I did hear from the person who actually sent me this that it's a bit troubling. They said that the last person took a month from actually talking to them to being able to order the thing. So it's not, it's like eBay, but like apparently worse from what I can tell. Here's another look at one of these Surface Duos that has a little hole on the back of it. This is a different one because this is a concave hole rather than just a cylindrical one. So this shows another sort of design that they came up with. This is GPS marginal fail, earpiece fail. So this was a prototype that had some hardware issues. And this again has 2 cameras, one there and then one way over there. What a strange, weird design. And there's got to be so many of these. This has the USB-C port over there on the side like the original Duo ended up having. And it has a black one side and sort of this pinkish color other side. I guess it does boot because there's a lock screen. It's functional. This looks like a Duo 2 that was used for testing. You can see all of these like cutouts and things here. Like if I'm not mistaken, these are things that can be accessed while the device is being tested in some way, but it also does look like it's functional. I could probably keep doing this all day. Here's another seller with a whole bunch of these Andromeda style devices. I guess they're just all over the place in China. I guess there's just a ton of them floating around. I really like this fabric textured design that they were apparently thinking about going with. I would love to hear more about like the multiple camera thing. Like that's like, why were they so separated? What was exactly going on there? What was the thought behind that? Maybe there's a former Surface Duo engineer in the comments that could shed some light on that. But again, there is just an insane amount of stuff on this website. This is a DVT of a Pixel Fold. So this is an earlier prototype of the original Pixel Fold. I'm definitely not telling you or endorsing this website. I'm not telling you to go on this website and give anybody your money here because this is obviously something that is a little bit sketchy. But there are at least some people who are getting their hands on these things, these devices, these prototypes using this website. And just because I saw it on here, here is a Surface Neo. And I've never actually seen one of these pop up like this before that was functioning. They all have been seemingly pretty well destroyed, unfortunately. There may be one out there still floating around that might be able to boot, but I've kind of looked around on here a little bit and I didn't see any. Granted, I wasn't able to directly search because it wanted me to make an account and all this stuff, but just from what I've seen here, it looks like that's about as good as it's going to get. But guys, hopefully you found this as interesting as I did. I think it's just a cool little look at sort of the history of Duo and the different designs that they tried to use. I will put a link in the description down below to this first page and you can go from there. Again, if you give this website your money and you don't get what you think you were paying for, I was not endorsing it. That is, you're taking that upon yourself, so the risk will be all yours. Again, big shout out and thanks to the original Reddit poster. I'll put a link to that thread as well so that you can go leave a comment or give it an upvote as well. Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content like this, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.